Do you feel that something is not right in the world? Catastrophes, wars, revolts, spiritual crises. More and more people feel that we are at a turning point. History seems to be accelerating. Even if we do not want to admit it, there is a premonition that we are living through a transition towards the unknown. Some believe that this change will come suddenly, unexpectedly. Others think it will arrive gradually, without warning. But what if I told you that all of this was already written? That the final alert may have started now, with a man dressed in white, the new Pope. Since he took the throne of Peter, Leo XIV has been breaking patterns, reigniting old debates and provoking fear among conservatives. His speeches talk about unity, but his decisions divide. He speaks of peace, but his eyes hide something deeper. Behind his words, many see the foreshadowing of a new cycle. Or perhaps an end. The apocalypse. Not as an explosive disaster, but as a silent transition. As prophesied in forgotten texts, from canonical and hidden sources, a leader would emerge when the world was on the brink of collapse. Not a tyrant, but a symbol. One thing is certain, Leo XIV did not wait for the traditional time to adapt. In the first 30 days, he dismantled commissions, restructured departments, and called an extraordinary assembly with religious leaders from around the world. No modern pope has acted so quickly. The message was clear. He did not come to maintain, he came to reform. His followers call him the Pope of Change. His detractors, the prophecies of the third secret. What do you prefer to call him? Let me know in the comments. Among his first official acts, a speech behind closed doors drew attention. It was in this speech that he mentioned for the first time the need to make room for souls marginalized by tradition. He was referring to the LGBTQIA+ community. The shock was immediate, inside and outside the church. While more conservative bishops criticized, progressive Catholic leaders celebrated. For the first time, a pope did not just suggest acceptance. He spoke of recognition. The President of the United States declared his public support, but he was also accused of using religion for political gain. The division spread like wildfire. In Europe, demonstrations broke out on both sides. In Latin America, churches closed their doors after attacks. It was as if an old wound had been opened and now everyone was looking inside it. But Leo XIV moved on. In a rare interview, he said, "Jesus did not shun the marginalized. The church must do the same." For some, it was an act of compassion. For others, it was the beginning of apostasy. The words of this new pope are not just words. They move governments, ignite protests, and challenge centuries of doctrine. And each sentence seems to bring us closer to what the ancient prophets so feared, a time of internal division, a spiritual rupture. And perhaps a new apocalypse, which begins not with fire, but with ideas. Something big is about to happen, and time, as always, does not wait. UN reports indicate an increase in religious conflicts. Data shows that intolerance has grown by 30% in less than a year. The world is in turmoil, but it all started with words, with a speech, with a pope. The warning has been given. The pieces are moving. And the end, if it comes, will not be by chance. It will be a script written slowly, from the first rise until now. This is the third episode of a series based on a terrifying prophecy, the rapture of the church. This story takes place in the not-so-distant future where humanity faces its greatest challenges. Natural disasters, pandemics, and wars seem to be the order of the day. People are desperate and the search for answers becomes more urgent. Amid this chaos, rumors spread of an impending apocalypse, but no one knows whether these prophecies are true or false. In the midst of fear and uncertainty, the Pope makes an announcement that surprises everyone. He declares that the rapture of the church is imminent. According to his interpretation of the Bible, this event marks the beginning of the end times and that Christians will soon be taken up to heaven. This declaration causes chaos among the faithful. Some are overjoyed at the prospect of ascending to heaven, while others are filled with fear and anguish. As the date of the alleged rapture approaches, tensions rise and society begins to fracture. People are divided between those who believe in the Pope's prophecy and those who do not. Violence and crime increase, and the world seems to be on the verge of collapse. The day finally arrives and nothing happens. People are left disillusioned and confused. The Pope disappears and leaves a message that only adds more mystery to the situation. He says that the rapture occurred, but that those chosen were not worthy, and therefore they were not taken to heaven. Now they must face the tribulation, a period of great suffering and persecution before the second coming of Christ. At that moment, a group of survivors emerges led by a charismatic and mysterious woman named Gaia. She believes that she was chosen and is destined to lead humanity to salvation. Gaia gathers followers and creates a community where she teaches them her beliefs and prepares them for the coming of Christ. She claims that the Pope was wrong and that the rapture was nothing more than a test of faith. Those who remained behind must now work to rebuild society and prepare for the true apocalypse, which will come later. However, not everyone accepts Gaia's teachings. There are those who continue to await the return of the Pope and others who have completely lost faith. As the story progresses, we learn that Gaia was chosen for a greater purpose. She is destined to lead humanity to the new earth, a world of peace and harmony that will come after the apocalypse. Gaia must face many challenges and overcome great obstacles to fulfill her mission. Along the way, she encounters betrayals, violence, and doubt, but her faith and determination help her to persevere. In this apocalyptic tale, the Pope plays a pivotal role. His prophecy sets the plot in motion, causing chaos and division among believers. The sudden disappearance of the Pope adds a layer of mystery to the story and raises questions about his true intentions and whereabouts. Now let's take a look at the main character, Gaia. She is a strong and enigmatic woman who emerges as a leader in the face of adversity. Her charisma and determination make her a beacon of hope for those who follow her. However, she is also a controversial figure, as not everyone shares her beliefs and some accuse her of leading humanity astray. Throughout the story, the theme of faith is central. The characters must confront their beliefs and decide what they truly believe in the face of uncertainty and danger. The story explores the depths of human faith and the lengths to which people will go to protect their beliefs. Another important theme in the story is the struggle between good and evil. Gaia represents the forces of good as she fights to create a better world for humanity. On the other hand, the forces of evil are represented by those who oppose her and seek to destroy everything she stands for. The battle between good and evil reaches a climax as the story unfolds, and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. Finally, the story touches on the idea of renewal and hope. Despite the apocalyptic scenario, Gaia's followers believe that a better world is possible. They strive to create a more harmonious and sustainable society that can thrive even after the apocalypse. The story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope and renewal are always possible. If you want to continue discovering more mysteries of the Vatican, check out my other videos about the hidden chambers under St. Peter's Square. You'll be surprised by what we found there. Click now and see you in the next video.